Hello Jousters, this is Coach Rob coming in to give you the WOD brief for April 13th, Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a good holiday if you celebrated a holiday as well. The workout today, or for Monday, is a standard joust warm-up to start with, just like always. We are now doing 45 seconds of a handstand hold, so we bumped it up 5 seconds. Then what you're gonna do, 3 supersets of 12 single arm floor presses each arm, and then 12 single arm bent over rows each arm. All right. Superset means you'll go back and forth between the two exercises. All right. And go for the weight you have. It might be a little heavy. If it is, then this should be pretty good. But if it's a little light for you, just go for movement quality and think of really good muscle engagement and really good joint movements. All right. So after you've done the 3 supersets, you are then going to do 50 deck squat burpee star jumps. Yes, so to help your mind wrap around that, just say it out loud really quick. It'll make it a lot easier. So 50 deck squat burpee star jumps. That's it. That's the workout. Do that as fast as you can, so those 50 reps per time. All right, the goal is to try to get it done between 8 to 12 minutes. If a deck squat is not in your arsenal of exercises that you can do, then you'll just do air squat, burpee, star jumps, okay? You don't need any equipment. You basically just need a spot on the floor that you can put your body on and get up on, and that's it, all right, for that part. For this part, you do need a dumbbell, all right? If not, then I'll show you some options you can use instead of a dumbbell if you don't have one, all right? So let's change the camera angle really quick and then we'll talk about these exercises. Let's talk about the floor press first. For the floor press, what I want you to do, when you're on your back, I want you to have your arm going about 45 degrees from your shoulder like this. Your elbow will hit the ground, then you're going to press back up. Okay, see where my thumb and pinky are? This is to represent how the dumbbell is going to be. So I want your hands, we're going to hold that about 45 degrees as well. If you're not doing this, or maybe if this bothers your shoulder a little bit, then you should pinch it in super tight. This is what we would call a neutral grip, where things are up and down and your elbow is tight to your side. So I'm asking you to be 45 degrees, not like a T, that's a big no-no. 45 degrees or tighter than that. Okay, you're going to do 12 reps, all 12 on one arm, and then you're going to do all 12 on the other arm. So here's what it's going to look like when you're getting into the floor press. It's going to kind of be like a Turkish get up in the beginning. We're going to kind of roll over, get it up. All right, I want your feet to be like this so it helps keep your back flatter. All right, and then press, keep your fist in line with your chest, about 45 degrees here. If it's not 45 degrees, then I want you to go nice and tight, like this, right? You do 12 reps on one side, switch to the other arm, 12 reps on the other side, okay? Then what you're gonna do, we're gonna do bent over rows. So the same form we would use if we're going to bend over and do dumbbell rows like this with 2 dumbbells, but we're only using 1, all right? So here's how I want you to do these rows. Stand up with that dumbbell, feet on the close side of hip width. My feet are pretty close. Then you're gonna hinge at your hips, okay? Knees bent a little bit, back nice and flat, drive that elbow up, squeeze your mid-back and lower shoulder blade muscles, okay? 12 on one side and then 12 on the other side. Once you've done the floor presses and the bent over rows, you're going to rest for a full 60 seconds before you go into the next full round of floor presses and bent over rows, okay? So what that'll look like, 12 floor presses each arm, 12 bent over rows each arm, and then rest 60 seconds. 3 rounds of that. Cool? If you don't have dumbbells, just do 12 reps of the hardest push-up variation that you can do, all right? So if you're someone that kind of can do some push-ups on your toes, but they're hard, and they're maybe too hard for you to do in a CrossFit WOD, for the strength piece today, it'd be good for you to do them in this, right? So maybe you can do like 6 push-ups on your toes. Just go ahead, give yourself a little bit of rest, but get those 12 reps in. Do 12 push-ups on your toes if that's where you are, okay? If you're someone like Coach Ryan or myself, for example, where push-ups on our toes isn't an issue, you can stack up some books or something. That way you have a deficit where your chest has to go lower than your hands, and then do push-ups on that, okay? That's something you can do, all right? You can even try handstand push-ups instead, even though it's not the same plane of movement. It's still a really good strengthening exercise if you're someone that is really proficient and strong with pushing, all right? So the scaling option you can do if you don't have a dumbbell, I'll have you do plank rotations, because you can still get decent mid-back and shoulder blade engagement if you do plank rotations. So for example, what I want you to do, side plank, start here, kind of thread the needle, and then squeeze your shoulder blades together at the top here, thread the needle, there you go, 12 each side, all right? So those are your scaling options if you do not have a dumbbell. All right, let's talk. All right, so for the crazy part of the workout today, we have 50 deck squat, burpee, star jumps. It's almost hard to say without having it to read. But think of it in 3 main pieces: deck squat, burpee, star jump. All right? So let's go over how to do that. So when you're starting, your feet should be pretty close. I like to point my toes out a little bit, but in either case, your feet should be close like this. And then hands forward, butt right down to the ground, candlestick back. So that's a deck squat, burpee, star jump, okay? So actually for the star jump, you should be really jumping very high, like that for the burpee, star jump and stuff. So let me demonstrate one more time. Notice how I didn't squat, so I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna make that call. Do you have to stand up all the way? No, you can go right into the burpee. So for example, right into it. All right, I'm gonna make that call. You don't have to stand up all the way out of the squat. You can go right into the burpee star jump. You might need to, right? That doesn't mean you shouldn't stand up. You can stand up. You just don't have to. That's the call I'm going to make for this today. So, for example, if you're a little tight, sometimes your deck squat has like a little steppage. You might need to stand up all the way. So, for example, right? I know me personally, that's kind of how my deck squats look sometimes. Notice how I finished. That's okay. I'm just gonna finish the burpee star jump. All right. So that's how you do it. If you can't do a deck squat, I'm gonna have you do an air squat, burpee star jump. So with this, I'm gonna ask for the opposite out of you, where yes, if you're just doing an air squat, I want you finishing the entire air squat. So for example, right here, air squat, and then burpee star jump. So if you're doing this variation, the air squat, I don't want you kind of just getting here and then going into the burpee at the bottom. You have to finish the air squat. But I'm saying the opposite for the deck squat, okay? You don't have to stand up all the way out of the deck squat. You can roll right over into that burpee, all right? It's gonna be pretty fun, pretty simple, just 50 reps. The goal is to finish in 8 to 12 minutes. And you are allowed to mix and match the reps. So if you're someone that can do deck squats, but you're not used to doing a lot of them, maybe you're just mixing some deck squat, burpee star jumps with some air squat, burpee star jumps. You can do either one, they both work. All right? Have fun, Jousters. This will be fun to talk about in the future. See you there.